it's a good feeling, and I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but it's just nice to know that the front office and the coaching staff believes in you, and also the teammates. That's a big thing, to have guys go out there and you see how hard everybody's working, and that's a big reason why you get all your work in between those starts, and you're not doing it just for yourself, you're doing it for the whole organization and your teammates. So you don't want to let anybody down, and you just want to work hard and win games.
Scot's come up through our system. He's gone through some different pitching styles, different roles, and now he sits here as our opening day starter, and a guy that we think is going to be a big part of this club for years to come. And we're very excited about committing to him and about working with him for a long period of time.
Last spring, coming out of spring training, asked him to go to the bullpen, and the way he handled that, and then moving into the rotation, and the continued improvement that we saw in him, and with his pitches and his command, his work ethic, we feel like that he represents what we want to see in our pitchers.
Outside baseball in Minnesota is something most Twins fans have never seen until now. Friday night, Target Field opened its doors to professional baseball for the very first time. In front of 40,000 ecstatic fans, the Twins and Cardinals played the first outside game of the Twin Cities since the early 80s. It's the first of two preseason games St. Louis and Minnesota will play before the official regular season home opener at Target Field, which is scheduled for April 12th against the Boston Red Sox. While the Metrodome was often referred to as a hitter's park, the Twins specifically built Target Field as a neutral park, not favoring the pitchers or hitters. But as the season moves on and the weather improves, the advantages could change a bit. But finally, the Twins are playing outside baseball on real grass for some of the best fans in the game. For MLB.com, I'm Jay Berman.
I think on paper, obviously I think we all have to stay healthy. I mean, not even just starting pitching, I think bullpen and our offensive guys too. So I think if everybody stays healthy, I think we on paper we have a chance to get to the playoffs, and I think once we get there, anything can happen. But that's our first goal. As far as on a personal goal, I've wanted the Gold Glove for I think ever since I've been up. It's one thing I take pride in fielding my position. Other than that, I think it's going out there and throwing 200 innings eight consecutive years. I think that's kind of a mark for me as a starting pitcher. They'll throw 200 innings, and it means you're giving yourself and your team a chance to win, because you're going out there deep in the game. So I think those two rank right up there.
How do you see, and along with that, you've been on Letterman. I tell you, I look at the career-wise, and I think that just has to make you feel so good to know where you came from and what you're doing now.
It does, but some of that Letterman stuff, I don't like doing that. I'm not big on TV stuff, and even at the World Series, I had an opportunity to go on Saturday Night Live, and Pasetnik ended up doing it, and they're trying to get a bunch of other guys, and I said, there's no way I'm doing that. That's not my thing. But yeah, I think once you get done, and I hate doing it all, but I think once you're done with it, you're kind of glad you went ahead and did some of the stuff. I remember a couple years ago being in here and being a young guy. I think Canerco and myself have the most time on this team. He's right above me, so it definitely changes. But I think that's part of the game and part of the business. That every year, trades, released, retirement. There's a lot of stuff that happens. That's a tough part about baseball. So you get close to some of these guys' families and off the field and get to know them, and then all of a sudden you don't get to see them very often. So that's the tough part. It doesn't matter if we're playing Yankees or playing Cubs, Royals in our division. I mean, every start I get nervous before I go out there, and but once I get on the mound, I'm fine. It's just kind of building up. While you're sitting in your house and just kind of thinking of the game and what's going to happen during the game, you get nervous.
I mean, we got a great group of guys right now. A lot of great talent, I think, on the ball club. Guys are fired up, especially after last year, and we're focused on winning as a team and just going out there and having fun and playing hard, I think. We're here to win. Again, the past is the past, and I think we're focused on the present and going out every day and doing the best that we can. Like Jake didn't even pitch in 09. Fausto did struggle a little bit, but I mean, he's come out and he hasn't let it affect him. He's come out this spring and just been lights out, and he's done really well, and I'm really happy for him and proud of him that he's been able to battle through all that. shows what kind of mental ability he has to overcome some of the challenges that he had to face, I think. And so it's great to see him doing well. I love hanging out with the older guys and just learning from them and talking with them about whatever, whether it's baseball or just life in general, some of the mistakes they've made, and so hopefully I can learn from them and don't make the same ones. And it's been great. The last 2 years in minor league baseball, I've been playing outfield, more first base in spring training, a little bit last year, but I've actually been over at first the whole time during camp, and I think that's where I'm going to start the season at, and we'll see what happens from there.
You know, and it's nice to have that spring training and kind of get acclimated, but I'm definitely, you know, I'm looking forward to the whole season as a whole more than, you know, I have in the past. You know, I think coming down to one start, you know, being opening day, you know, you try and take some of that out of play so it's not, you know, as overwhelming. But, you know, there's definitely a lot more excitement for me going into the season, you know, knowing that it's a competitive team that, you know, the goal is to win. You know, I feel pretty good right now. I think the hardest part sometimes is getting acclimated to your teammates and, you know, getting comfortable there. So, you know, I think once you do that, the rest kind of comes with it. You know, once you get in between the lines, whether you're home, on the road, your approach is basically the same. The way you go about the game is the same. So, you know, for me, it wouldn't I don't think it would make a huge difference. Obviously, there's, you know, a lot more, you know, going into it being at home, you know, given the success the team's had, you know, there's going to be a lot of anticipation and you know, a lot of stuff going on. So, you know, I guess in that respect, being on the road, you know, obviously there will be a lot of fans from here or there, but, you know, you really don't have as much as I guess the dog and pony show, which is kind of nice early on, you know, to be able to kind of focus on the game and get out there. You know, I think sometimes that makes it simpler. You know, it's easier to, you know, kind of pay attention to, you know, job at hand. You know, I think the thing that stands out the most to me, you know, talking to everybody and watching everybody is, you know, how much everybody cares. You know, to me, it seems like to a man, you know, everybody out there wants to win and wants to do it every night and will give you everything they have. You know, obviously you see the talent that's out there from across the field, but, you know, to hear that from basically everybody, you know, coaches, players, you know, everybody talks about that, how, you know, every single guy out there is gonna leave everything out on the field. You know, that's the one thing I didn't really anticipate as much coming in, and obviously pleasantly surprised, you know, getting here and hearing those types of things, you know, about great players. You know, you have a great player and you add that to it. It makes it pretty impressive. You know, felt 100% with it going into a season. You know, this spring it's been a great pitch for me. It's been one of the more consistent pitches for me, and you know, that's a great feeling going into a year when you know, your fourth best pitch is become, you know, one of your better pitches during the spring. So, you know, I'm really excited about that. That's something that I've been searching for a long time. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. It's, you know, come a long way, and Doobie was a big part of that.